Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started here, please. So, from last day, okay, let's do a quick review from last day. We looked at non-right triangles, right? And instead of using the SOHCAHTOA stuff, we came up with something called the Sine Law. Anyone want to help me out? What's Sine Law again? Good. Good. And please write this down. So sine A over A equals to sine B over B, sine C over C. And remember, the idea is the angle is always related to the side that is opposite of it. Okay, so B relates to this one, and C relates to that one. Okay? So that's what we did last day. Okay? And I said to you that today's stuff will be harder. But before we get to the harder stuff, let's just do a quick review from last day. So here's a picture of a triangle, and I'm going to ask you to please solve the following triangle. Okay, now when I say solve, what does solve mean? That means I want you to find all the missing sides and all the missing angles. So notice in this question, you're going to have to find the side that is equal to E, side F, and also angle G. What would you like me to do first?
Solve the angle.
Solve the angle. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what order you do this, but Tenacia says solve for the angle. Okay, so let's solve for angle G. Good. Do the easy stuff first. So help me out, somebody. How do I find the missing angle?
1G.
Oh, hold on. Marie, yeah?
180.
Yep.
Minus 0.3 plus
Good. So I'm going to take the two angles that we've got. I'm going to put them together, subtract it. That sounds good. Can you bring out your calculator or your Taschenrechner?
It's 57.
Is it 57? Adam, you know what that means?
No.
Oh. Yeah, calculator in German. Just go the other way around. Okay? Taschenrechner, right? Taschenrechner? Yeah. I will learn German before they leave. Okay, so 57 degrees. Awesome. Next, what should I do next?
Use the angle.
Use the angle to find what?
Any side. you want.
Any of the side I want. Sure. So this is now 57. Let's now go ahead and find the sides. Okay? So it doesn't really matter which one I do first, but notice I need that 57 because it relates to the side G of 7.8. So sine of 57 degrees over 7.8. And it doesn't really matter which one I do first. Let's do E first. So that'll be sine of 43 degrees divided by E. So go ahead now and try to solve this on your own. This should be quick review. What do we do when we have two fractions? Cross multiply. E times sine 57 equals to 7.8 times sine of 43. We'll solve for E, 7.8 times sine 43 divided by sine 57. And let's see what we get. Okay. 7.8 times sine 43, then sine 57. I have 6.3. Okay. So double check that with me, please. 6.3, what? What are my units for this one?
Centimeters.
Thank you, centimeters. So that's side length E. Are we done yet? No, I need to find the other side. So go ahead and find the other side. Hopefully you have some space. I will say, let's do sine 57 over 7.8. And in this case, I will make it equal to, can someone help me out?
Sine 57.
I have sine 57 already.
Right, sine 80.
Sine 80, good. And that relates to the side F. Go ahead, please, and try to solve on your own. It's the same idea. F is what? 9.2? Yes or no? 9.2? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't hard, I hope, because that was just a review from last day. Okay? Now, here's today's stuff. I want you to take a look at example number 1 now. I didn't actually give you a picture. I just gave you words. You have to draw the picture first, and then try to find out the answer. So in XYZ, triangle XYZ, so draw some random triangle, okay? Don't draw a right triangle though, but draw a random triangle like this. It's XYZ, so I'm going to label it as X, Y, and Z, like this, okay? Doesn't really matter how you label it, but I'm just doing it this way. What else do we know? It says angle x is 38. So on your picture here, where you see angle x, put in 38 degrees. It said side x. Okay, now which one of these is side x? Is it xz? Is it xy? Or zy?
Said what?
Well, put your hands. Lays at the back. Together. Okay, zy, good. The one across. So over here is x. In this case is 30 degrees. Or not degrees, 30 centimeters. Okay. How about y? Well, y is always across from angle y, so that's over here. That's 47 centimeters. Okay. So the question says, once again, solve for angle y first, then solve the entire triangle. So it's like the same as we did before. Okay, so you try. Okay. How do I solve for angle y first? Well, here's angle y. It relates to the 47. So you might want to say something like this. Sine of angle y over 47 equals to, and I'll use the 38 with the 30. Okay. Go ahead, please, and try to solve that. Okay. Notice in this one, you're going to have to find angle y, so you're going to have to do a little bit more on your calculator. I will do this part first. I'll do 4.7 times sine 38 divided by 30. I get a decimal, 0.09 645. 645. Okay. Now, this is sine y. I'm going to ask you to do what? I want you to solve for angle y. So inverse it. Yes, thank you. Inverse sine of this. Okay, so that's the extra piece you need to do here. Inverse of the answer. About... Oh, my fault, everybody. Oh, not good. What did Mr. Lee do wrong?
You did 4.7.
Yeah. See, I'm pretending to be like a student. Making big mistakes like that. Oops. 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 So it was actually 47, not 4.7. Sorry. Why didn't you guys stop me earlier?
Because we didn't realize that's what you
Now I know that no one listens to me anyways. Thank you. Okay, sorry. Let's do inverse of this. My apologies, 74.7 degrees. Is that better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So y equals to 74.7 degrees. Excellent.
Are you asking why?
Okay. So now, can you figure out the rest? It says solve for the entire triangle. So what else am I missing? I'm missing angle z, and I'm missing this side xy. So can you continue on and go ahead and solve for angle z? So I'll say angle z is equal to, and I'll take 180, take away 38, take away 74.7. Let's see what you get. 63.7? Okay. 63.3, isn't it? 67.3? I just have to do this myself.
Yeah, 67.
67.3. Okay. So 67.3, and then it looks like a lot of you know how to do the rest, so go ahead and try that. I'll stop talking. Go ahead and find the last piece, which is xy. Okay. And I know you guys are thinking, Mr. Lee, this stuff's not that bad. What are you talking about? It's hard. Just give me 2 seconds, and I will confuse you.
When we're solving for side z,
Yes.
does it matter which one we use?
Well, okay, here's the question. When you're solving for side z here, does it matter which one we use in terms of the 38 degrees or the 74 degrees? The answer is no. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But my advice to you, if you want my advice, is always use the numbers that were given in the question. So that's why I said use 38 and 30, because those were given to me in the question. If you use 74.7, it's fine, but let's say you made some stupid mistake, like what I was doing, right? You use a mistake, you continue to use a mistake, you get bigger mistakes. Okay. All right, let's solve this. xy times sine 38 equals to 30 times sine 67.3. Can someone tell me what xy equals to? I'm too lazy. 45? Okay. Everybody agree, for those who did it? 45? 45? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, before you turn the page, this is where I'm going to try to confuse you. Is this the only answer?
No.
God.
I'm assuming it's not when you question us.
Okay, but why?
Because it is scary.
Because it's scary. It's scary. Let me ask you, okay? Don't write this down. Just watch me for a sec, okay? Isabel, what do you want to say? You have another answer?
Yeah, because
Why? Where does the other answer come from?
because I did z divided by sine 94.3.
94.3?
Yeah, that's
Where's 94.3 come from?
how's that? Oh, I didn't know.
Okay. Now, that's okay. I think you're on the right track, but here. Okay, just watch. Don't write this down. Remember doing questions like this from section 2.2? How do you solve this?
The inverse.
You inverse it. Good. Somebody do this for me on the calculator. Inverse it. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get?
30.
30. In grade 10, I said, you are correct. That's the only answer. But you guys are in grade 11 now. What's the other answer?
Negative 30. Oh, it can be, what's it called with
You go on
the
the-
graph, like a graph.
Wherever 30.
Remember what this thing says? All of the sine ratios or trig ratios are positive. Sine is positive here. So the 30 degrees is this one in the first quadrant, right? Yes, that's the right answer. Where is your other answer going to be?
150.
Over here. Isabel, you have a question? Or 100 and? Careful, not 120. Remember the reference angle is 30 here. So the other answer is 150. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are trying to solve for an angle, be careful. There are two answers now. It's a triangle. Yeah, you're right. It's a triangle. So what I want you to understand is this, okay? Let's go back to your notes. And when you do this part, can you like highlight this, star this? Okay. I'm going to say to you here, there could be more than one answer. Uh-oh.
What if it's like a more than 90 degree?
That's what I'm saying. Perhaps it's more than a 90-degree angle. Okay? Now, I'm going to try to show you something on the video to hopefully show you why this is the case. Okay? So I'm just going to quickly pause right now while I say. Okay, so let's compare side x to the height of the triangle. Okay, so what I'd like us to do now is let's focus on this piece here. Okay, that's the height of the triangle. So label that for me, please. Height. Okay, my question to you is this. How can I actually calculate the length of the height? SOHCAHTOA, someone suggested. Okay, so once again, I'm going to draw the height over here. Okay, and my goal is to find out this h, height. Good. How does SOHCAHTOA help me with the length or the height?
You have 47.
I have 47, good.
And 38.
And 38. Okay, so let's use SOHCAHTOA here. So height equals to, let's use SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Which one should I use, by the way? So, ka, or toa? Sine. In this yellow triangle here, can you see that sine of 38 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is the height, divided by 47? Okay. in this yellow triangle. Can you see that? 38 degrees, opposite side, hypotenuse. So solve for h for me then. What's h equal to? H is equal to 47 times sine 38. What do we get?
28.9.
28.9. Okay. So here is my scenario for you. Okay? If the x value, which is this longer side, which is 30, is less than, and I'll say h. Okay? If it's less than the height, what do you think happens? Yes, Isabel.
You get those.
No solutions. No triangles. Okay? Because what you will see, and I'll draw a picture for you to the side, is you get this, this is 38, this is whatever, and then you got this side, x, which is really small. Okay, there's x. So small. They can't connect together, no triangle. Okay? What if that side x is actually equal to h? So in this case, what happens if x is not 30, but what happens if it's 28.9? What if it's equal to h? How many triangles do you get in this case?
1.
1. You get one triangle, but what type of triangle do you get?
Right.
Ah, very good. One right triangle.
Actually, how much does it have to be in order for it to be a right triangle?
Exactly equal to the height. Okay? And I'll draw a picture for you. So same angle of 38, but now this red line, or this x, is equal to the height. So when do I get this weird case where I have more than 2?
When it's bigger than x.
That's right, when it's bigger than, not x, bigger than the height. So when it's bigger than the height, this is where you get 2 triangles. Okay? And I'm going to try to draw it like this underneath here. So 38. Okay? You have one that's like this. And I'm going to also draw another one where you can swing this over and it becomes like this. So can you see how there are 2 triangles involved? There's the outer triangle, that's the acute triangle, and then you have this inner one, which I'll try to highlight in green over here. 2 triangles. Nasty.
So for like the no triangle, if you give like a question like that, we just say no solution.
That's right. So if I was a really nasty teacher, which I might be, and I give you a number where x is less than the height, you can't solve it. You just say no triangle. Okay? But in this case, I gave you one, and notice in this case, x is the number 30. What's h in this question? H is
28.9.
20.9. So is height bigger than h?
Yeah.
Guess what then? You've got 2 triangles. So let's do the same question again now, but let's do it for the second possible triangle. So here's what I'm going to do. I want you to draw this out again for me. Okay? Here's a 38-degree angle. Draw this out, please. X. We know this side here is 47. And then now we have this side that's over here, and it's 30 degrees. And I'm going to try to draw the dotted part in so you can see how I created this angle. Remember? So let's see if I can make this look nicer. This is probably the hardest thing we've done so far in Math 11, by the way.
We have done a lot.
I know, but I'm telling you, this is the hardest so far. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, how are you going to solve this question again? Well, what I'm going to ask you to do then is once again find y. How would you set this up for me? Somebody help me out.
Why are you trying to solve for y?
So I need to find y. I need to find this angle now, right?
Sine of 38,
Sine of 38. Thank you, Kevin. Keep going. Sine 38 over
30.
30 equals to?
Sine of y over.
Good. Now, if you think about this, we did this already on the previous page. Okay, same as previous page. Okay, it's the same thing. Go check it out. It's the same thing. Right? Same thing. Same. Same. So when we solve for y, what did we get? Last time from the previous page, we got the angle 74.7. But does 74.7 match up my answer in this picture? Obviously not. So what must I continue to do? This actually equals to the reference angle. So what is the actual angle for y? Excellent. It's in quadrant number 2. The reference angle is 74.7. So this angle is 180 minus 74.7, which is equal to something. Yes?
Would it ever be Farthen's second quadrant?
No. Remember, sine is always positive in the first and second quadrants only.
So it's not going to be...
No. So think about it. Can your answer be like 200 degrees? In a triangle, all the angles add up to 180 anyways, right? So there's no way you can have something more than that. If you did get that on a test, then you screwed up somewhere. Okay? So what I want you to understand here is that this angle y now equals to 105.3 degrees. And so if I asked you to solve for all the rest, you'd go through the same process again, but with this angle here. Okay? Now, what I like to do is just try to summarize this really quickly for you. Okay? So, today's big thing, which is the confusing thing, is this. For non-right triangles, when I give you two sides and an angle that is not contained, okay, so Andrea, not contained, not in between, or SSA, you may get two possible triangles. And this is called and there's a special name for it, it's called the ambiguous case. Ambiguous case. Ambiguous means you're not too sure which one is the right one. There are more than one answer. Okay? Yes?
There was this one question in the last class when we did on that lesson. The triangles didn't look like you had a higher than...
So when you solve a ratio where you have sine theta equals to some decimal, okay? So I'm going to put blah, 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 blah. Okay? A decimal. And when you want to solve it, and when you do inverse sine of the blah, 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 okay? What do you get? I want you to say that theta gives you two possible solutions, okay? And that's why this stuff today is messy. Okay? Now, I'm going to go on to the next page. I actually decided to do one of your homework questions for you right now, so I can show you the different scenarios, okay? And then I'll end off today with one word problem. And like I said to you, this stuff is hard, so please spend some time working on it this weekend, okay? Next day stuff when you come back is actually not too bad. It's pretty easy. But today I think it's pretty hard, okay? Are we getting cosine? Yeah. So let's turn the page, okay? Let's draw a picture again. I like pictures. So in triangle ABC, here's triangle ABC, okay? A, B, C. Angle A is 26. Side B, which is this one over here, B equals to 120. So here's my picture, okay? Now, I didn't tell you what this is, right? I don't know the length of CB, okay? Or what I'll call this, instead of CB, I'm gonna say side A, okay? What am I doing? CB. Okay, I don't know that. All right, I didn't tell you. So I don't even know if the triangle looks like this or not. Okay? I mean, this side B could be like right here, like this. Don't draw this in, by the way, right? Or it could be swung over even more. So it could be like this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay? So my question here is this. It says, determine the range of values for A, which there is one triangle. Okay, oblique just means one triangle. Okay,
So we-
one right triangle, two triangles, or no triangles. So the question is, what is the length of this CB? Okay, so that I get no answers, one answer, two answers, or no triangles. So the question is, what could this be? Height has to be something. Good. So what you want to do to solve this question is we need to find the height first. Okay? And that's going to help us determine if we got one triangle, no triangles, two triangles. I'll take it. You just go to class. Okay. Sorry.
Sine 26 equal to h over 126.
Okay, so I hope you did something like this. H over 120, right? So H equals to 120 times sine 26. Good. What does that equal to? Give me the number.
0.6.
52.6. Awesome.
Centimeters.
Okay. All right. So this is the key thing. All right. Now let's do the easy one first then. Let's do one right triangle. This is the easy one. What does A have to be so that you get one right triangle then?
5.6.
That's right. A here must be equal to 52.6 for one triangle, right? So remember, I'll draw a picture too for you, okay? So once again, 120, 26, and what I'm saying here is A is equal to this line here, right? This is A.
52.6.
Isn't it 52.6?
It's 50. Oh,
What the hell is wrong with you?
It's okay, we all have issues. Okay, that's the easy one. Good. The next easy one, I think, is the last one. No triangle. If it's no triangle, what you see here is that A has to be less than 52.6. Right?
Actually,
Yes, sir.
do we have to write down, do we have to jot down that triangle as well?
No, I'm just drawing the triangle because you can see it, right? Like, I'm a visual kind of guy. I like movies. I hate reading books. Right? I need to see things.
You see the book.
Yeah, most guys are visual. Okay? So, here's angle A, 26. Here's 120. And when A is less than 52.6, that's like this. Okay? Good luck trying to find a triangle, right? Not there. Right? If A is 1, no way. If A is 2, no way. 3, 4, 5, no way. You have to be at least 52.6 to get that. Okay. So here are the two possible values or two possible looking triangles for the two oblique triangles. Now, what is the condition for this to happen? So how does it relate to, first of all, the following? Okay? How does it relate to the height? Is it equal to the height? Obviously not. Is it less than the height? Obviously not. So what is it?
Greater.
Good. So notice what I'm going to say here. A has to be greater than the height. Or the height has to be less than the A value. Is that okay?
Yes.
But you just drew h is less than 8.
Right. So the height is less than A.
Oh.
Or if you read it the other way, A is bigger than H. Okay, so I guess what's H again? H is the number 52.6. So there we go. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So what kind of A values can I choose? A could be what? Call a number.
4,092.
Okay, hold on. 4,092. Let's think about that. Is that possible?
No.
Why not?
Because it's 120.
So how does this 120 help us out here?
Because it can't be bigger than 120.
Yeah, be careful.
It's
This
the
side A
hypotenuse.
can't be bigger than 120, right?
Yeah.
If it's bigger than 120, then
Changes the whole triangle.
it changes the whole triangle. So be careful.
119.99.
That's right. So let's put one extra thing here. It also has to be less than this 120. Okay? So tricky one. Tricky. Star. highlight. Yes.
Would you do the 26 on top and the 120 on the bottom?
Uh-huh.
Then would it be, when you see some?
No, it's the same thing. It's just reflected around. You get the same thing.
Oh.
Okay. I'll show you afterwards. It's the same picture. It's like you rotate your page over and you'll get the same thing.
Yeah.
Bigger number, right?
Sorry?
Was you choose a bigger number?
The bigger number? What do you mean? This 120 bigger number? I didn't really choose this. It's just because that's the only number I got. I just chose to draw it up here, but you could draw it down here too, yes. It just means your picture will be rotated around. That's all.
It's easier to read.
Okay?
That's why I'm Chinese, right?
Now, how about that last case? The one back up there.
No triangle.
That's not no triangle. That one is 1 oblique triangle. This is what I'm talking about here, okay? Let me draw the picture for you. This one looks like this. 26, 120. Here's Tenacious, 4,000, blah, 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 blah. Right? Oh, man.
Oh, I was like, oh, really? Round two?
Okay, so how does this side here compare with that one over there in green?
It's longer.
It's longer. So in this last case, the A value has to be bigger than the 120. Okay? Now, what I've done with you here, after all the interruptions, is to try to show you all the different possible cases that you can have. Okay?
Oops.
Now, if I want to generalize it, I'm going to try to do that for you over here. So you see how this some empty space here? I hope you still have some empty space here. So I want to generalize it. Okay? So in general, can you please write this down? Okay? So in general, if I give you a triangle with these things, if I give you angle A, and I give you side B, okay, so in general, given angle A and also side B, okay, the question is, what possible values of A produce the following things? Okay, so what possible values of side A produce, and then I'm going to say the following. One oblique triangle, so I'm just doing the same thing again, except I'm trying to generalize it, okay? One oblique triangle, and then leave some space. One right triangle, leave some space. Two triangles, and this is what I call the ambiguous case,
It's ambiguous case. Oh, yeah.
meaning there's two triangles.
Right.
And then D, no triangle. Okay, so can you please write this down? And then let's see if you can come up with a nice general answer. And that will help you do your homework tonight. Okay, this chart here will help you do your homework tonight.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Okay, if you're ready, see if you can complete it. Let's do the easy one first. Which was the easy one?
The exact triangle.
The exact one right triangle. So what does the A value have to be equal to?
Exactly.
Equal to H. Good. So A must equal to H. Good. Okay. So I'll draw H here if you want. H. Okay. What was the next easiest one?
The C.
C? No, no, no. D. No triangle. So what happens here? A has to be
Less.
less than
Okay.
height. Good. Okay. Then let's do C now. What do we know about the A value?
Let's see.
It has to be more than the height. Good. So A must be more than the height.
But less than 120.
Thank you. But less than 120. What's 120 in this scenario in general?
Hypotenuse.
The side B or hypotenuse. Good. So I'm going to say it has to be less than B. Oh, good. I feel good. And then the last one, one oblique triangle. Greater than 120. Or in this case, I don't have 120. I have things in general. Greater than B. Yes. And just one last note. Note. Okay. Note.
Don't let me smoke that.
h is the height.
What is this pink one?
Okay, h is the height. And remember to find h, you use this, sine A equals to h over b. And so h just equals to b times sine A. Okay? All right.
What? Did that say L is height?
H, sorry, H
Oh, at first
stands
I
for the
thought it
height.
said his height.
Oh, yeah,
His
good point,
height.
good point, good
Sine,
point.
I was like, what?
His height, sorry. H is equal to height.
Why don't you just write h equal height?
Or H equal E. Oh, don't say that in front of the recorder.
Okay. Let's try to finish this off with one last problem. Okay, so turn to the back page.
Oh my god.
It's words.
There's
Julie, you
more.
said this is enough for homework.
I feel like we're in an infomercial every math class. Do one question, get 10 more. That's great.
Okay, one last one.
You're gonna laugh on there.
Probably.
Okay, two students are holding tethers. Do you know what tethers are? It's like a
No.
rope
Oh, like tetherball?
to a helium-filled balloon. So here's your balloon, okay? Balloon. Okay? Now, you got two students holding it. So we got one student over here.
Whee!
Okay. And then, oh, by the way, it's not students' feet, it's students' feet. Okay, sorry. So there's Andrea. Oh, look. Hi, Andrea.
Give me more.
Okay, and then it says the angle of inclination is 45. So if you think about the angle of inclination here, this is 45 degrees. Okay? And then Andrea actually has a friend. Her name's Camille. Do you have a friend named Camille? Oh. Now you do. Here's Camille. Camille's here, right?
Oh, Lamar.
I don't care.
I'm silly.
Okay, so this is Camille.
What's wrong with Camille?
Nothing. She just hair. She has long hair.
Why does Camille have long hair and Andrea doesn't?
Okay, fine.
Why does Camille have
Are you
hair?
trying to see Andrea as well?
Don't make fun of my
Hey, where's
drawings.
Camille's arms then if you put it
Oh man, arms.
Where's the
She's like,
feet?
she's like an 80s rock star.
Use your imagination. Okay.
We don't have imagination.
But you
I
said you
don't
like
think
to
so.
draw things out.
I'll never win with you guys. Okay. So, and of course she has a little rope too, right? Like next to her face. So anyways,
Good job, Ashley.
thank you. Andrea's tether is 25 meters long, so this is 25.
Oh, beautiful.
Camille's tether is 20 meters long. So over here. To the nearest meter, determine the distance between Andrea and Camille. So I want you to figure out this part, the one in black. What's that? Let's
Oh,
call that
there's
X.
two distances.
So the question is, are there two possibilities? Now, how can you tell if there are two possibilities? Remember from the previous question, in order for you to have two possibilities, what must exist? So let me just quickly look back here. Two possibilities. The A value has to be less than the H, which is also less than the B. So what I would like you to do here, and this is just for us to double check, is I'd like you to calculate the following. I want you to calculate the height,
Okay, but they get to be standing right next to each other.
okay? And then I want you to compare it to the A value. By the way, what's the A value in this case? Which number? The 20 or the 25?
20.
20.
20 is the one across from the angle. Good.
20.
And compare it to the A value and the B value, okay, which is 25. Because I want to do the comparison first to ensure that I only have one answer, or maybe I'll have two. I'm not too sure right now. But do this calculation first, and then we can tell. So, my dear friends,
That if you give us like two ways and one angle, then
you could have two answers, right? That's what this whole table was for, Kevin. It could, right? Notice in the first case, there's one. Second case, still one. Then it's two, then it's none. Right? So I'm saying let's just double check. Why do all the extra work if we don't need to do it, right? So, how do we calculate H? Let's do that first. Remember, H is equal to sine 45. Remember, H is just this line here. Equals to H over 25. Can someone quickly do this for me? What's 25 times sine 45? 17.7. Okay, that's H. Okay. Let's compare.
Meters.
Okay, thank you. So, the A value, is it bigger or less than H?
Big O.
Good.
Two oblique, two triangle.
Is it less than B? Yes. So notice what we have here is H is less than A, which is less than B. Therefore, how many triangles are there?
Two.
Two possible triangles.
Sorry.
It's okay. So if you're thinking about what the other picture looks like, and I'll draw the other picture for you. The other picture is this. We still got lovely Andrea over here with some hair.
No arms.
With no arms.
With no arms.
Okay. The angle is still 45 degrees here. Her tether line is still 25. The balloon is still here. But where is Camille standing now?
Closer.
Closer. Because they're good friends. So Camille's here now.
Oh, they're close together.
Wee. And then here's her tether. 20. Can you see how there are two possible answers now?
But we didn't calculate the first one.
I know we didn't calculate, but I'm showing you right now there's two possible answers. Okay? Andrea, question?
So if it was like 22,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be 2 answers. Like,
If this was 22, if I change this to 22?
if the 17 was like 22.
Yes. If the 17.7 was like 22, you're right. There wouldn't be two answers. Yeah.
What if we like switch like the position like where they're standing?
That's okay. Just reflect the picture. It's still okay.
No, I
Right.
mean like how do we know which one is A, which one is B?
A is always the one across from the angle you're given. Okay?
And it's always A that we must use.
A is the one that determines if you have one or two triangles. Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the rest is up to you now. Okay, let's see if you can solve this. Okay, remember there's two pictures, right? So let's actually do this. Let's figure out X. How can we figure out X? Well, what's X? That's this length here. So it depends. Doesn't matter which triangle I'm using, that's still X. X, how do we solve for X? Set up the actual ratios for me. Okay, let's solve now. Let's solve for X. What's sine law again?
Oh my god, we're doing sine.
Yeah, we are doing sine law. This is all part of sine law. Sine of 45 degrees divided by what number?
20.
Good. Equals to?
25.
Something over 25, right? So let's call it theta over 25. Okay, so I guess this is theta in this picture. This is theta in the bottom picture.
Wait. I'm trying to solve X. Like.
Yeah, but we need theta first, right?
Oh, right.
We need theta first before we solve for X. Okay, I'll say let's solve for X, but need theta first. Okay,
And then
let's go ahead and solve. This is just the algebra stuff now. 25 times sine 45 equals to 20 times sine theta. Go ahead and try to solve for sine theta by dividing both sides by 20. Help, help, help. 25 times sine 45 divided by 20.
62.
0.888, right? So 0.88, blah, blah, blah. So what do we do now to solve for theta?
62.
Inverse sine, right? No. What's that equal to? 62? Good. 62.1?
Just 62.
Or, because there's two answers, two
Oh
triangles.
my god, I'm slow.
Or,
180 minus 60.
thank you. Which is?
117.9.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the 62.1 is the angle for the picture up here, right? Small acute angle. The 117.9 is the angle over here.
Oh.
Okay? Now, your announcement's going to come on soon, so I've run out of time, but now I'm going to say continue and solve for X.
Literally what answer? No,
Okay.
what answer is that?
Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will do this tonight as my homework, okay? And I'll solve for X. I will then post this set of notes on my website, so if you want to double check your answer, you can. I'll also post the YouTube video, because if you want to listen to it again, you can do that as well. Please, please.